Hi guys, welcome back to Deranged, and today I'm going to talk about these two cars. Basically this car here, the BMW M5 Competition, has been my daily now for around 4 or 5 months, and I've just bought the Porsche 992 Turbo S, and I really wanted to talk about the two cars as a daily, and not just about stats and what one's quicker and, you know, price, I guess, this comes into it. There's loads of things that comes into it, but I just want to really talk about what car is a better car for an everyday. I mean, everyone's, you know, goes mad about these things, and to be honest, that's why I bought it. I wanted to try it out for myself and see what all the fuss was all about. But like I say, I've been driving that car for 4 months, and I've never really been a BMW guy. I've always, you know, maybe gone for Mercedes, AMG stuff. If you follow me, you know I love my Ferraris. I race in a Porsche, so we love my Porsches as well, but really only have had old generation Porsches. I've got a 930 Super Sport, I've got a 997 GT2 RS, both epic cars in their own rights, obviously completely different. And never ever have I owned a turbo, especially a late Turbo S car, which is obviously the top of the, would you say, daily, everyday use type of vehicles. Obviously you then go on to the GT cars, you know, GT3, GT2, GT3 RS, GT2 RS, and they're obviously in a league of their own, and they're fully like track prepared cars. This car, I would class this as a car that you can use all of the time. You know, it's 4-wheel drive, you get in it every day. And same with this really, obviously a little bit more usable if you've got family, 4 seats, bigger boot and everything. But yeah, just really wanted to talk about the drive and the overall experience for me, my personal experience. So, I'll start with a BM, I guess. Before I talk about the driving experience and my overall experience of both cars, I will just quickly go through the specs. Obviously there's a lot of videos and a lot of information online on both of these cars, and there's probably people that do a much better job than me, because I love my cars, I love driving cars, and I'll jump in any car and I'll drive it and enjoy it, but I won't necessarily know the ins and outs and the specs and all the geeky stuff. But I have done a little bit of research on both cars just to give you a rough idea, just so when we compare the drive and, you know, the performance of the cars, we've got a little bit of an understanding about the stats. So they are very similar. The Porsche is 650 PS, so that's the way German manufacturers describe it. In brake horsepower, we describe it. It equates to 641 brake horsepower, where the BMW is 625 PS, which is 617 brake horsepower. It's very similar. The Porsche's got 590 pound-foot of torque, and the BMW is 553 pound-foot of torque. Porsche is a 3.8 flat-six bi-turbo, and the BMW is a 4.4 V8 bi-turbo. Both cars have 8-speed gearbox and 4-wheel drive. The Porsche is PDK, and the BMW now comes with a ZF gearbox. The Porsche weighs 1,733 kilos, whereas the BMW weighs just a bit more at 1,865 kilos. And finally, the Porsche does a combined miles per gallon of 25, and the BMW comes in at 21.8. So first I'm going to talk about the BMW M5 Competition. Honestly, I absolutely love this car. Do I really want to sell it? Probably not, but I don't need 2 daily cars, daily drivers, and I've just bought the Porsche. So I'm going to give that a good chance now and try it out for at least 6 months. But the BMW, this one's in Daytona grey. It's a beautiful colour. I think it's probably my favourite colour they do. We have done a few little bits to it, so it's not completely standard. So if you look at it and think, oh, it looks different than what you've seen before, we have done the front splitter in carbon, the little side skirt fins there, and the same on the back. We've done the carbon fibre on it. Other than that, car is factory, it's got lovely spec. Right, so now we're in the BMW and just talk a little bit about the spec, but the car is on our website, www.derangedvehicles.com. Have a look at the stock, full specs on there. I can't remember it all, but a few things that stand out to me is massage seats, which is a lifesaver for me. Heads-up display, it's got soft closed doors, Alcantara headlining. Some of this might come as standard on this car, but it's just little things that stand out to me that are really nice. The only thing that I will say, a bit of a letdown for this car, I don't know if it can be added at all, but it hasn't got Apple CarPlay. I would like Apple CarPlay. I think all new cars should come with Apple CarPlay. Plug your phone in, get your maps up and everything. It makes it nice and easy. So the Porsche has got Apple CarPlay. I'll talk about that a bit more in a minute. This car hasn't. Other than that, I would say it's pretty much got everything you could want. It's even got scented air freshener that come out the air vents, which, you know, BMW do some crazy stuff on these cars, but that is lovely. This particular car comes with Harman Kardon stereo. The seats are so comfortable. One of the main things that for me in a car, especially if I'm going to use it as a daily, I am tall, I'm 6'6". I have got a bit of a bad back and, you know, suffer with that sometimes. So comfortable car makes a big difference. I would go as far to say that this car is more comfortable than our Range Rover. My wife drives a Range Rover. It's, you know, known as one of the comfortable cars. You're in an upright seating position, which is good for your back. Only car I've ever really had for any period of time being low has given me a bad back, and this car hasn't. I can do 200-mile journey and it's no problem, get out comfortable. Obviously you've got the massage seats, which are great in this. They massage the bottom side of the seat and the back. So most cars with massage seats, which people don't probably even realise or know unless you've had a car with it, they just do the back. This car actually does the base of the seat as well, so it's massaging your bum basically, which makes a massive difference. When you're doing long journeys, just get full massage and it just, you know, keeps you comfortable. What else has this car got really? I mean, I think, like I said, go on the website, have a look, but little touches that are nice are the M5 badges in the seats. They light up when you open the car. It's got all the illuminated lighting around it. It's just a really nice place to be. You've got your buttons here on the steering wheel, which is M1, M2. You can configure them as you like, so you can put it into sport mode or sport plus mode basically, which is like M2 mode, and you can set those configurations in the computer of the car. So it's quite nice. A nice thing about this car as well is you can have it more towards the rear wheels. So if you put it into sport plus, you can change the gearbox ratios, you can change the stiffness of the steering wheel, you can change the fuel efficiency, and also how the drive system works. So if you prefer a car with a bit more rear-wheel drive and you want to have a bit of fun, turn the traction control off, you can do this quite easily on this car. So I think I've spoken enough about this and the options, and I think we'll talk about the Porsche now, and then I'll do a summary of both and what one I prefer, prices as well, and go from there. So, my new car, the Porsche Turbo S, 992 Turbo S. This car has got some nice options on it. It's not fully spec'd out. If I was choosing one from new and speccing it myself, I probably would have gone for the aero package and maybe the other wheels, and maybe even crayon. I like crayon, or the chalk colour. So, but black suits any Porsche really. I always think black Porsches, I've always liked them. And this car is the metallic, and they come standard with the ceramic. So all Turbo S's come standard with ceramic brakes. This car's got the option of the X Matrix lights, which are really good. Other than that, we've got the design rear lights, which are the clear rear lights rather than red. We've got sports exhaust system with silver finish pipes. And then inside, we're going to talk about a little bit more about that and how that compares to the BMW. So straight away, getting the Porsche, and it feels very much like a Porsche. To me, a Porsche has always been very simple, clean, not a lot going on. They like to keep things about the drive, and they've done this exactly with this car. I mean, it's very sleek. This is optioned with the Alcantara steering wheel, heated. So it's got the 18-way electric seats, which are really comfortable. Are they as comfortable as the BMW? Honestly, no, they're not. I'm a big guy, like I said, I'm 6'6", I'm wide, and it's comfortable enough. Would I want to do my 200, 300 mile drives in it? I'm not too sure. I have to come back to that probably in a later video because I haven't done it, but I know straight away it's not going to be as comfortable as a BMW. So that BMW wins on comfort 100%. This car's got panoramic roof, got some nice bits on this, but it's not too over-spec'd. Like I said, I'd probably, if I was buying one new, have a few more options, but it's still a lovely spec car and definitely got some cool features. Like I said, the BMW's got the paddles, 2 buttons for doing the driver modes. The 992 comes with driver mode on the steering wheel here, so it's just got a twist here, so you can twist through the different modes. I haven't gone as far into being able to set up those modes yet. I've tried to change them. It seems to be with this car, every time you get back in it, it just goes back to standard mode. The exhaust is off, so you have to turn the loud exhaust on if you want that. So BMW just sort of stays as you've left it. You know, exhaust is on loud and your setup options are as you left it, which I quite like. This little bit, you know, take a bit of getting used to. This does come with Apple CarPlay, which is really nice. Like I said, it's a big thing for me. I like Apple CarPlay in any car. This has got the Bose, so it's a standard audio system, but it is Bose and it's really good. You can get the Burmester sound system in these. It's about a £2,500 option. Is it worth it? I don't know. I haven't listened to how good it is, but this is far adequate with a Bose in it. So really, talking about both of these cars as an everyday and my experience, what one's better? Everyone's going to say this car's better. It's a Turbo S. It's the car to have, you know, it's probably the car that everyone talks about as an everyday car that is, you know, obviously it's, you know, supercar performance. And yeah, I mean, it is an awesome car. You can't knock it. I mean, it's lovely. I mean, I haven't had it long enough to really experience everything about it, but I just wanted to really, the idea of this video was to compare something like the BMW, which is on sale now for £60,000. This car's £175,000. So how do the two compare together up against each other? Performance, comfort, everyday use, driving, boot space. You haven't really got a lot of boot space in this car. You can put a baby in the back, maybe a small child. Can you fit anyone behind me? No. So with me driving this car, it's 3 people max, and that's a small third person. BMW, you can get 5 men in it comfortably. You can drive 300-400 miles and all get out comfortable. So BMW wins there. Obviously, Porsche is a Porsche, and I think what people are gonna go for the Porsche for is because it's that status. You've got 2 cars that are very similar on performance, which I'll talk more about in a minute. We'll maybe go out for a drive and I'll talk about the performance, especially in the wet. You know, these cars are both 4-wheel drive, and the idea is you can use them all year round. You know, if you're going to have a car just for the summer, then you might go for a GT car, you know, a GT3, something like that. Would I go for this if it was not the middle of the winter? Probably not. I'd probably have get a GT3 if I could. But yeah, really just talk about both and how they compare on the road. So we'll go and do that now. I'll jump in the BMW, we'll go out for a drive. I'll talk about the performance of that and how it drives, and then compare it to this. BMW M5 Competition. One thing that I love about this car as well is the sound. I mean, V8, you can't beat that. You listen to that sound. So you put your foot down in it, it's got that nice rumble. Also, being twin turbo and the characteristics of a turbo engine, when you let off, it pops a little bit and crackles, which is really nice. So you put it into Sport Plus and straight away get that nice roar. Put your foot down. Hopefully you can hear it in the video. Now, the Porsche Turbo S, or any turbo 992, I mean, the engine is renowned for being like one of the best engines performance-wise on the market today. But when you compare the two, I would say, you know, look at the stats, and this is a little bit off, but when you compare day-to-day driving, which is what it's all about, really, you can put your foot down, have a little blast, get the feel, really probably what we're talking about, and the feel and the acceleration which we use from like time to time is the torque. And I would say that this feels more torquey than the Porsche. So you look at the stats, and the Porsche, did I say, has got 590 pound-foot of torque. This has got 553. But the Porsche comes in at 2,500 RPM. This comes in at 1,800. So when you're sitting around, you know, I'm in 5th gear now and I'm on 1,500 RPM, you put your foot down, this is instant. The torque just pulls you back. Of course, you get the 992 Turbo S on the track against this, and the weight difference and the suspension setup that the Porsche's got. The Porsche's going to win, we know that. The Porsche is ultimately a better equipped car for performance. You know, the aerodynamics are going to be better. Everything's going to be in favour of the Porsche. My video really is not about that. It's about, you know, day-to-day use and what's better on the roads. And you can't say this is a better car, but for the money, which is what we're talking about, you know, this car I've got up for sale for 59,995. And the Porsche is going to be, when I sell it, is going to be around 170. So for your money, like value, yeah, I'd say this car, the sound is so unreal, and handling is wet now. You can put your foot down this, I've floored it. It does not get out of shape at all. Nice corner, put your foot down, yeah, little bit of a slide, bit of fun, you know, we like a slide. If you know what you're doing, obviously, don't go trying to slide your car around in the wet if you don't know what you're doing, because it can go wrong. But, you know, this car is honestly such a great car. It's, you know, like I say, you've got 5 men in here comfortably, nice big boot, fit your golf clubs in there if you go and play golf. I go and race, so I drive all around the country, put all your stuff in, all your kit, everything, you know, if there's a few of you going. So, can you beat this car? Yeah, what more can I say about it, really? It's just a lovely car. So we're now out in the Turbo S, and straight away the car feels just a little bit more lively. The interior is very much driver focused. There's not too much going on. Like I said before, there's, you know, minimalistic look. We've still got three memory buttons on the seat, so you can get comfortable. Got your driver profile as well, so if you've got your key, it will do the same as a BMW. It will set the seat to your position. Set up. It's got an electrically adjustable steering wheel, which is under there, and it's comfortable. It's definitely a lot stiffer. I've got it on soft mode, it's on normal mode. I've put the exhaust on loud straight away. What I will say about this is it just hasn't got that sound. The BMW V8 is just a lovely, even though it's twin turbo, it's still just got a lovely V8 rumble. You can put this in sports mode, so now we'll turn it into Sport Plus, change down gear there. It's got active to spoiler, so the spoiler will go up into Sport Plus mode, which is up slightly at an angle, gives it more downforce on the rear. So drivability straight away, yeah, I mean, I can see me having more fun in this car. If I'm honest, compare the two, like for like, grip wise in the wet, put your foot down in this, it does grip, but certain times I've found it has a little bit of a squirm, a little bit of a slide, and I can only really put that down to probably the tyres. So it's, you know, when you're comparing these cars, people compare one against another on track and everything. What they don't talk about always is the tyres, and tyres make such a phenomenal difference. I mean, the BMW comes standard with the Michelin E4Ss, so, and I rate those tyres for everyday use. They're such a great tyre. This car comes standard with Pirelli P0s. Now, would I put them, if I'm changing the tyres, I'd definitely put the Michelins on. BMW come Michelin. Why Porsche chose the Pirellis, I don't know. Get their GT3 car, all of their GT cars, they put the Michelins on them from the factory. The 4Ss they should have definitely put on this car, in my opinion. Personally, I think the Michelin's a better tyre. It's not an advert for them by any means, just my personal opinion. So, usable power, BMW is probably slightly better. Obviously, you get this car on a track or an open B road where you're really going to have some fun. This car is going to be better. You know, it's going to be more fun. I can't wait until get a bit of a drier conditions, get some nice clear roads, maybe go out one evening, early one morning, and have a bit of fun in this car. I know that this car is just going to have the edge. Range trucks there, nice to see on the road. Always see them about everywhere you go. If you see them, take photos, send them to us. Always good, take us in, because we like to see our customers' trucks and other trucks on the road. So last but not least, I want to talk about the overall design and aesthetics, the look of the car really. And if you notice, we parked them this way round now. I think when you look at the back of both cars, undoubtedly the 992 is just in a different league. Obviously it's a completely different shaped car. One's a saloon, one's a coupe. You can't really compare them. You know, the BMW's still got some nice features. We've put some additional options on this, so it does look better than a standard one in my opinion. So it's got the carbon fibre spoiler, carbon fibre rear diffuser. The Porsche is completely standard at the back. I mean, the Porsche wins, obviously, all day long the Porsche wins. Let us know your opinions. Turn the cars around and look at the front, then I think the BMW wins. It just looks more aggressive. The Porsche, the front of this, to me, just looks like it could be any Carrera. And I think you look at the new GT3, and that looks unbelievable, the front bumper. I really like that design. But this looks a little bit plain on the front end, looks a little bit boring if I'm honest. Aero pack, definitely, if you put a clip up of aero pack, it definitely gives it that little bit of edge over a standard one. If I get on with it over the next few months, I'll probably spec up a new one and hopefully get the Generation 2, so they might do some tweaks, little design features hopefully, and definitely they'll do some upgrades of tons description. As I mentioned in the car when I was driving it, the Porsche's got active rear spoiler. That's obviously a performance feature, but it's got some advantages for aesthetics as well. You know, have the spoiler up, it's got a completely different look to the rear to when it's down. So that's nice. Front spoiler lowers down, which I'll show in a minute, and that really changes the whole look of the front of the car. So BMW obviously hasn't got any of these features. It just is as it is. It's not really built for aerodynamics, you know, it's a fast saloon car. I really like the look of it, but like I say, for me, personal preference is the Porsche. Let us know your thoughts and comments on that. But front end of the car, I'll be honest with you, Let me know your opinions, but I think the BMW wins. Looks more aggressive, something more about it. Like I say, Porsche a little bit more classy, understated look. For me, overall, looks-wise, Porsche wins. What wins overall? Hands down, value for money, that's the car. I mean, like I said, this up for sale for £60,000. That's going to be 170. Some of these were making 250 not too long ago. A lot of them over £200,000. I mean, that's an incredible difference in price. You know, if it's money, no objects, and you just want the ultimate sort of daily car, just you, maybe you one other person, you haven't got to fit loads of stuff in the boot, you haven't got to put 5 people in it, then of course, the Porsche. And like I say, I've changed from that to that. Honestly, if you've never driven a BMW, if you're not a BMW man, if you're a Mercedes man, if you're a Porsche man, have a go in one of these, try it out, or buy one, enjoy it for a year. Honestly, you will not regret that car. That car is such an awesome car. This is my new toy. I'm going to enjoy it for a little while. It will be going up for sale. Of course, someone comes along, wants to buy it. Everything's for sale. Maybe we'll do another video in a few months' time and I'll let you know really in and out what this is all about to drive and enjoy. Have a few nice dry days, enjoy a little bit nicer weather, and we can really tell you what it's about. So, have I summed it up? Have I chose a winner? I don't think I really need to choose an outright winner. They're totally different cars, and it's starting to rain. But what I will say is, for the money, you cannot beat that car. Thanks for watching, guys.